Could Matt Mervis rejoin the Cubs in the second half? Find out next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Saturday, July 22nd. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Scott White and the 5 prospects on the verge of getting the call. Jonathan Aranda with the Rays, Matt Mervis with the Cubs, Ronnie Mauricio with the Mets, Heston Kjerstad with the Orioles, and Colt Keith with the Tigers. Look, these are all names that we've talked about in the past, but Matt Mervis stands out as someone who could rejoin the team. Heston Kjerstad, could we possibly get another Orioles prospect up with the team?
Yeah, I hope so. We have talked about them before, but not in the 5 on the verge. We do have a bit of a reshuffle here with some recent prospect promotions. And of course, the 5 on the verge refers to the 5 prospects most worth stashing in redraft leagues. It isn't necessarily the 5 closest to getting the call, but what I'm saying is these 5 are at least worth considering stashing in those redraft formats. So Matt Mervis has gone down to AAA and performed like he always has in the minors, no matter what the stop was the past few years. Hitting over 300, OPS over 900, just doing typical Matt Mervis things down there. Probably verging on getting another shot in the majors. It didn't go well the first time around. He did have a 50% hard hit rate in the majors, so there were some positive signs. And plus, just now that he's gotten some exposure, he knows what to expect more. It's not uncommon for a player to do much better his second time around. Maybe it hinges on a Cody Bellinger trade. Not necessarily. They're splitting first base between Jared Young and Trey Mancini right now, so they can make room for Mervis. Heston Kjerstad, let's talk about him, because he has been, I think, one of the most impressive, one of the people who's improved his stock the most in my eyes, one of the prospects who's improved it the most in my eyes, because he was drafted 2nd overall behind Spencer Torkelson in 2020, then had myocarditis right away, then had a hamstring issue last year. So really, this has been his first full healthy season, and he's lived up to that 2nd overall pick billing and then some. The contact skills have been much better than I thought they'd be for Heston Kjerstad. Specifically, in-zone contact rate for him is over 90%, which, when he swings at a ball in the zone, he doesn't miss. And power is his carrying tool anyway, so he's providing plenty of power. He's hitting for average 2. I'm not sure what it'll take to get him in the Orioles lineup. It took so long for Colton Cowser to get a chance, and he's not even getting everyday at-bats now. But maybe Kjerstad will be trade bait, or maybe somebody will get hurt. There's a way. I also want to mention here Colt Keith of the Tigers. He is young, but they haven't been able to slow him down in the minors this year. Clearly a breakout season. He dominated AA, hitting for average and powers, moved up to AAA, continued to do those same things. And you might think, the Tigers are out of it. Why would they start his clock now? Why not? Would just wait till next year or September at least? Well, look what the Pirates have done. They don't look like they're going places, and they keep calling up prospects. It's not outside the realm of possibility that the Tigers would call up Keith to play either second or third base. It is a bit more of a gamble. I don't think it's a certainty he gets called up in the second half, but it is a possibility, and the numbers look great.
Heston Kjerstad, by the way, I guess there's a possibility the Orioles can trade away Ryan Mountcastle or something to free up some playing time as well. I wouldn't, rule that out as well. And with Kjerstad, I saw him in the Arizona Fall League last year. Big leg kick, but also big power. He was in the home run derby, and he was just crushing balls. So, yeah, very excited to see if Kjerstad gets an opportunity here in the second half. 5 prospects on the periphery. They're making some noise lately. Brooks Lee, a shortstop with the Twins. Roman Anthony, an outfielder with the Red Sox. Ivan Melendez, first baseman with the D-backs. Gabriel Gonzalez, outfielder with the Mariners. And Troy Johnston, a first baseman with the Marlins. Scott, any quick notes here on this group?
Brooks Lee's hitting for more power all of a sudden. He was a high draft pick last year. I think a consensus top 50 guy coming into this year. And put the bat on the ball, drew enough walks early on at AA, but the power was lacking. It started to come around recently, so that's good to see from Brooks Lee. Roman Anthony, somebody to get on your radar if he isn't already. 19-year-old for the Red Sox. in high A, putting up great numbers there. And really, like he's earned a lot of attention recently because Baseball Prospectus released its midseason top 50, and they had Roman Anthony in the top 10, which was the highest I've ever seen him. So that's going to get some eyeballs on him. I do also want to mention Ivan Melendez here of the Diamondbacks. First base prospects are, it's hard to get excited about him because they have such a difficult path to the majors, but he was the Golden Spikes Award winner in 2022. That's the best college player gets awarded the Golden Spikes Award, and that went to Ivan Melendez. Big power, big power. He got off to a very slow start at high A this year, but has caught fire in his 49 games, his last 49 games heading into Thursday. So he might be a little outdated now, but over that 49 game stretch, Melendez hit 22 home runs, including 4 in his first 3 games after moving up to Double-A. I've seen him compared to Pete Alonso before as a big power prospect who just kind of got overlooked in the lower minors because he was a first base and the difficult path and all of that. That's obviously it's obviously going to be hard for Ivan Melendez to live up to that, but you got to like the comp.
I love how Scott said, make sure Roman Anthony isn't available in your dynasty leagues. And I just checked the Scott White Dynasty League, and he's on Scott White's team. So there you go. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Audacy app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we'll be back again next week. Bye-bye.